talk is reflection and transform part 2. And then she'll do our meditation.
Thank you. I'm afraid to touch this. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody doing? Good?
Right?
Happy Daytona 500 Day. Those of you who are here in the sanctuary, I will not be bolting out the door, but I won't be here long after the Sunday service ends, okay? I have to get home. You know, this is my favorite day of the year. It's been a great weekend so far. It started Thursday night. There was racing on Thursday night. There was racing on Friday night. There was racing yesterday afternoon and now today. So I'm thrilled. Racing is back. Okay. That's what I've been reflecting and transforming about. Okay. Not really. So last time I was here, I introduced this idea of reflect and transform. I told you that this was going to be a theme that I would carry throughout the year. That no matter what topic I was going to be talking to you about, I was going to be talking about reflecting upon things, and then how can we transform ourselves after reflecting on whatever it is we're reflecting on. And then that transformation carries forward, and it goes from self to family to communities to the world. And as we've all agreed, for the most part, our world could probably use a little transformation right now, right? I think we're already in the middle of it, to be honest with you. I know that there's a lot of negativity that you can find pretty quickly if you go onto social media or read articles or whatever. But there's also a lot of good things happening. There are a lot of people changing their minds. And it doesn't matter why. What matters is they're changing their minds, right? I looked on social media the other day, and someone had posted, someone I don't know had posted about changing their minds about something. Doesn't matter what it was. And somebody said, well, it's too late. No. No, it's not. Not at any time, is it? We need to keep moving forward. We need to come from as positive a mindset as possible in order to share it with the world, so that we can then carry that energy out there and help more people, right? Very chaotic time that we're living in. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to work together, and we're going to try and see what can happen. In the Bible, in Romans 12:2, it talks about be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Well, in order for me to do that, I don't know about you, but I got to get quiet. Anybody else have trouble getting quiet these days? I struggle with that a little bit. I'm too busy. I got this to do. I got that to do. Some of you know I was sick a little bit. I had RSV and pneumonia that started about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I'm almost 100% now. Almost 100%. And but you know, it was like I got to get caught up. I was out of work for 2 weeks, and so the next 2 weeks at work was like double paced, right? You know, and that's when I need to take more quiet time. When I'm feeling that chaos and stuff, to be able to reflect upon whatever it is I want to reflect upon. There's so much available to reflect upon. If you have a subscription to the Daily Word, all you have to do is take the affirmation of the day and reflect upon that, right? If you're on social media in any way, shape, or form, there are a dozen things, hundreds of dozens of things that you could reflect upon. It depends on what captures your attention at any given moment, right? So pay attention to that, because this is about self. It starts with us. And then we help others to transform by sharing from the heart, sharing authentically, that kind of thing. For instance, today's daily word was about divine order. My life and all life is in divine order. And don't you want to just some days go, really? You think? I'm not sure. If this is divine order, I'm not liking it, you know? But then it hits the nail on the head when I encounter delays, setbacks, or the world is changing in ways I find unsettling. My life may feel chaotic, and even though I know divine order underlies all things, it doesn't always feel that way, right? So you could just take that thought and bring it with you for the rest of the week and think about that. Just because I feel that there's too much chaos in the world, does that make it true? Maybe, maybe not. Do I feel at peace sometimes in the middle of feeling like it's chaos all around me? Maybe, right? There's lots of ways you can go. Now, each one of us could take our own, we could take the same idea. My life and all life is in divine order. And we could all take this into reflection this week, and we would all come back next week with some different ideas. No two would be the same, and that would be awesome, right? It's not about grading, oh, I shouldn't think this or I should think that. That's not it. It's what am I thinking in this moment? And then it's about what am I going to do with this thought? Go back to that Bible quote, right? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We are renewing it. Every time we go in the silence, every time we go into meditation, we are renewing our minds. We're kind of clearing out the cobwebs, so to speak. Anybody else feel like they've got cobwebs in their head? Okay. This reflecting and transforming ourselves, it's really about a deeper awareness of how our spiritual understanding can reshape our daily experience, right? So for those of us who have a daily spiritual practice, maybe we need to change it up a little bit. For those of us who don't have a regular daily spiritual practice, maybe we need to think about implementing one. Just do it for a little bit, try a week or two or 30 days. My mentor used to say, try 40 days because that's the spiritual number for completion, right? Jesus went out into the desert for 40 days and nights. So try that, take it and just see if maybe it's something that maybe a daily spiritual practice will help ground you just even a little bit. Any improvement is better, right? Is good, especially now. We need to be fortified if we're going to get through all of the stuff that is out there. All of it. And there's a lot. We know that. So I was browsing on the internet for quotes about reflection or transformation. And this one brought such a smile to my face that I had to share it with you. It's from Mark Twain, so you know why I'm smiling. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. Now, I'm not even going to begin to try and interpret why he said that. I'm just going to say that brought a smile to my face, and he's probably right. Right? Too funny. But then Ernest Holmes, this other quote is what I found. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. It means I'm responsible. It means I'm doing this thinking and I'm getting it back, right? I remember talking about this a while ago, back when I was still in Florida, and sharing with people about, they talk about people reflect back to us what is already inside of us. In other words, we can't recognize something in someone else unless we recognize it in ourselves, right? And that was real easy for me to do with people who were being snarky and sarcastic and all of that other stuff. But what I came to understand upon reflection is that it also is for those who are acting compassionately or with empathy. I can't recognize that unless I have compassion and empathy inside of me as well. Now, isn't that good news, right? Because it does mean that you have it inside of you. I joked during a talk once in Florida, and I said, for instance, if you see a wonderful speaker on a Sunday morning, and you think, wow, she's really great, right? It means you have that inside of you too, right? But it's true. It's true. If it's something that's universally true for all people at all times, it's got to go both ways. It can't just be one-sided. Okay? So keep that in mind. Maybe that'll be something you reflect on. So this whole idea of reflect and transform is about moving beyond our awareness and moving into integration, like making it a part of my daily experience, my living experience, like put it into action, right? If I am reflecting upon something and an idea comes to me and goes, oh, I can do that, well, then I need to be willing to do it, right? Our fifth principle talks about it's not enough to know these ideas from the books, and it's great to study books. It's great to be participate in class. It's great to be a part of a discussion group. But the ideas that come up in any of these have then got to be put into action, like experiment with them. Gee, I wonder if this is true. Let me try it. Sky's testimony today was a perfect example of that, right? I'm going to tithe X%, and I'm going to see what happens, and I'm just going to keep doing it, and it's just the flow. He started a flow, and the universe can only act in one way, and that is it doesn't only go one way. It goes full circle, and it just keeps flowing. And that's what he demonstrated today. He shared with you about that. It's a lot of work, isn't it? Reflecting every single day and thinking about how am I going to transform. It can seem overwhelming at times if you're not used to something like this. But I invite you to just keep your heart and mind open to possibility, right? To try it. Again, it's not going to look the same for each of us. It's going to look different. It doesn't matter if it looks different. What matters is that we're doing something, that we're moving out beyond our comfort zone and trying to change it up a little bit, with the ultimate goal of transforming self, family, communities, the world. We can do that. I had a conversation with someone who heard my first talk on reflecting and transformation. And they're not here today, so I can talk about them. I'm not going to give a name either. Here's the interesting thing that she came up with. She said, reflect and transform. She said, I sat there and I heard your talk, and she said, and I reflect all the time. Now, this is the attitude she was giving me. I reflect all the time, Reverend Kathleen. That's great. And she said, but then I got to the transform part. And I said, yeah. And she said, I'm waiting for them to transform. Exactly. Right? That's the part that may need to shift for her and maybe some of us, right? That it's not about waiting for other people to act appropriately. Maybe it's about us learning how to react to their behavior differently. Maybe it's about separating ourselves from some people sometimes. Doesn't mean they don't have the Christ presence within them. Don't ever forget that. But it does mean that we do what we are led to do. We really, truly allow that inner voice, that light inside of us to guide us to do the next right thing, even if we don't want to. Remember my story of becoming a minister. I wanted that call to go away. Reverend Jim, make it go away. And he, oh, we can't do that, Kathleen. Right? Okay, let me give you a couple of other suggestions about reflection, because this can take you anywhere. There was a daily word with the word intention. My intention is to act with love and kindness. What would that look like for you in your daily life? Would it mean doing something nice for your neighbor? Would it mean that you wouldn't be huffing and puffing in a grocery store line behind someone who's moving a little slower than you are? Would it mean being nice to a coworker who's not usually nice to you? You know, what would it mean to just take that one simple statement, my intention is to act with love and kindness? Now, where my mind goes with that statement right away is here. It goes to, I don't know what's going on in someone else's life, right? They may need that love and kindness. They may not be showing it, but they may need it desperately for whatever reason, right? Someone cuts me off on the road and I get annoyed. You know, I'm on the highway and, oh, how dare they? But what if they're rushing to the hospital to get there before someone passes? I'll never know, right? Give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not hurting me. They already cut me off, right? So it's not like I can prevent them from cutting me off. It's already happened. So I might as well take those thoughts and go, okay, for whatever reason it needed to, I hope they're okay. You know, send them along with a little bit of a blessing, right? Is it going to happen this way for every single event in our lives during the... No. I promise you that when people cut me off on the highway when I'm driving, I am not always blessing them on their way. I do more often than not, but I don't do it 100% of the time. It's about progress for me, right? It's not about perfection. It's about continuously getting a little bit better so that it becomes more of a habit. Right? Because when it becomes more of a habit, it's harder for me to go to maybe worrying thoughts. It's a little bit easier. Dimitri was a great example of optimistic thinking. He was always very optimistic. And he would help me a little bit from time to time. Okay, come on. You know. So it's that kind of thing where maybe I'm thinking a little bit more positively now than I used to. And maybe I can continue to improve upon that. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We got this. We got this. Okay. For my social media buddies, anybody who is on social media a lot, I just happen to be scrolling. Now, I know that I'm not even going to name platforms. It doesn't matter. Any social media platform, they sometimes get a bad rap for being just places of negativity. I'm telling you, I see a lot of inspiring ideas on Facebook. That's usually the only one I'm on these days. I'm not on Instagram or any of the others, but any social media platform. Right? I can find positive things. I found this morning. It's a Buddhist teaching, and it says, healing isn't about becoming perfect. Healing is becoming unbothered. Ooh, that made me take pause. Unbothered? How could you be unbothered in today's world? Right? So it doesn't say 100% of the time or anything. It's just an idea of it's not about becoming perfect, right? I've always shared with people that we don't want to strive to be perfect. There is no such thing. Because as soon as I think I'm there, I promise you there will be 10 people there telling me all the reasons why I'm not perfect, right? But to become unbothered, to read something and to be able to just scroll on, would be amazing sometimes for me. I'm good at scrolling sometimes. And other times I stop and I go down the rabbit hole. Did anybody else go down the rabbit hole sometimes on the internet, just in general, right? And you can go off into many different directions. But the rest of it, in that same reading, healing isn't about becoming perfect. It's becoming unbothered. The mind doesn't need the chaos to feel alive. Okay? 2 sentences from social media will get my attention this week? This is what I'm going to choose to think about. See where it takes me. I don't know. I know I have ideas now standing here in front of you about what it could be, but I don't know where it's going to take me. Right? So we need a willingness to grow. I am hoping that you all will join me on this journey. Whatever I end up coming back to you with the next time will still have that theme in the background about reflect and transform. How is this topic that Kathleen is talking about, how is this going to help me to reflect and transform? We're going to carry that theme through the rest of the year, and we're going to see what kind of a difference we can make out there. And honestly, keep in mind one more thing. If you're looking for results, you're not going to see them. You're not going to know. 9 times out of 10, when you're sharing with somebody and you've really made an impression upon them, they're not going to say, Carla, you really made an impression upon me. They're not going to say that. They're going to go home and think about it. So trust that the universe is working through you. Trust that that divine energy is being demonstrated and that people are picking up on it and they're going to do that very thing that, you talked about but didn't know you were really talking about it. Right? I think this can help. I know it's going to help me. It already has. I know it's going to help me because I'm focused on something and it's not about the negative stories that I'm reading. I'm learning how to click to something different faster. Right? I need to know what's going on in the world, in our country, in my state, in my community. I need to know all of those things, but I don't need to go down the rabbit hole as often. It's helping. It's not perfect. It's helping. See what you can do with this. Take this with you. See what inspires you any day of any week of any month. And go with it and see where it takes you. And we'll talk more about it next month. We'll see what subject I come up with. We'll be in the middle of Lent by the time I come back, so that's always a fun time, right? It's always fun for me as someone who used to be Catholic. I don't have to give anything up anymore for Lent. I just always have to give up chocolate. It was so hard. And but I'm looking forward to coming back and talking more about this. For now, we're going to take these ideas into meditation and see where you go with this idea of reflect and transform. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so I invite you all to get comfortable wherever you are seated and just begin with taking some deep breaths. You may close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Breathe in new, fresh oxygen. And breathe out the old. Feel your body relaxing into the chair. With each breath that you take, you can feel your body relaxing more and more. The tension is gone. You're resting in this moment. May the words that I speak now be the words of your own heart. Today I reflect and transform. This is not about me becoming someone new. It's about me remembering who I truly am. My mind and heart are open to the gentle examination of my inner patterns, beliefs, and spiritual truths. Those things that form the foundation of lasting change. I am filled with an overwhelming sense of willingness. My spiritual growth is ongoing. And I welcome that feeling, that nudge to go deeper, to learn more, and to remember my connection to the one power and one presence in the universe. During moments of joy and moments of discontent, I know that I am always being called to grow. I will never finish growing. My life is transformed as my mind is renewed. As I choose life-affirming thoughts, I experience life-affirming events. My physical appearance may change as I smile more often. And through this practice, I develop greater peace and awareness. And my spiritual essence shines brightly. In this moment, I envision divine love opening my heart and kindness inspiring my words. My gratitude overflows. And so it is. Amen. Before you open your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths. Fresh oxygen in, releasing with an outward breath. Come back to this place and this time, in this beautiful room, on the Zoom screen. Wherever we are one. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Welcome back, friends.